mommies, and happy.
Okay.
Hello, we are broadcasting from outside, and we are reunited today.
Yay!
We have not been.
And it feels so great.
It does.
This song.
It feels so good.
Oh,
We
yeah, there
haven't.
you go. Over it.
We haven't been on scope together in a few weeks. We've been scoping.
It's really bright to like
By
look at
ourselves.
ourselves outside.
Well, we are outside so that the kids can run around and play and do all those fun things.
Yeah.
And we can.
I feel like my eyes are like really closed right now.
Why? Okay.
Because it's so bright.
So hopefully they don't kill each other, but they can run around and they have space rather than
Yes.
running around in the house and trying to keep them contained and happy.
Mm-hmm.
So, today we're talking about what we would do if we could hire someone out, what task would it be for, and
What would we do with that extra time? So we're just daydreaming about being mommies. What's lots of time?
yeah, first, we could introduce ourselves. Thanks,
Yeah.
guys, for the hearts. Welcome to Mommy Cafe. We're talking about our roles as moms and as wives and as creative women and how we can cultivate our roles and press into them.
Mm-hmm.
And my name is Kayla. I am a mom of two. I have a 4-year-old son and a 1-year-old daughter. And I have been a wife for 5.5 years. And I have a shop called Love Sparkle Pretty where I get to create pretty things for brides.
My eyes are like really having a hard time adjusting.
These
I
are
feel like I'm
really
squinting so bad. My name
reflective.
is Tara. I am a wife of 6 years and I have 2 kids. My daughter is going to be 4 in May and then my son is about 16 months. I'm a blogger, a Mary Kay consultant, and he's going to go down the slide backwards and fall. We're just watching our kids outside.
We should have put
I know,
helmets
I
on
was like-
them before we let them roam and jump off.
Mhm. But yeah.
Anyway, so this topic kind of came to us. We were on Voxer, this really cool walkie-talkie app.
It is
If you don't have it,
awesome.
you should get it.
Every mom needs this app.
So we were talking, and
There's like
I was
bug in
scrubbing-
my face.
yeah, I was scrubbing the bottom of the shower and the baseboards in the bathroom, which is something I don't normally do, but I was doing it, and I was like, man, if I could hire somebody to do a task for me, what would it be? And then I was like, Tara, remember how, like, there's, like, this saying called, like, we have as many hours in the day as Beyonce. And I'm like, Beyonce could only, yeah, it's a really good,
Yes.
why is it better than text FaceTime? I like it because it's, like, real
you-
time and go ahead.
Mhm. Literally, like, if you're in the middle of dishes, you just hit play and you listen to them talk. You wait until they're done talking, and then you hit it, you reply to them. It's like, when you're on the phone, the kids are constantly like, Mom, Mom, Mom. But at least, like, when you're walkie-talking, you can pause, you can discipline if you need to. You can get back to them in, like, 3 hours or 3 days or, like, however long you need to. And texting, if you're talking to it, to, like, Siri, and you're like, blah, 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 and you're in the car, and you try
She
to, like,
changes the words.
screen over it, she's like, Charles just went down the street. And you're like, what? That's not even what I said. I'm down the street.
Yeah.
Like, so it's just awesome.
So I was saying with Beyonce having as many hours in the day as we do, I don't know if you guys have heard that yeah, it's true. That quote, but I was like, Tara, that is because she
Has everybody
she hires
hired.
people to do things that that we as normal people do, I guess.
Ourselves.
Yeah. So I was thinking, like, what would I hire if I could? And what would I do with that extra time? But I want Tara to share hers first before I share mine.
Okay. So my biggest thing is guilt. If I were to hire somebody to do those extra things, I feel guilty because I'm a stay-at-home mom and everybody already asked me, like, what do you do all day? And you're like, I clean the house. I don't know. I do what you do on the weekends, just all the time without a break. So I always feel guilty because everybody's like, oh, you would want to hire somebody to clean your house? Aren't you home all day? And it's like, sure, yeah, I guess I shouldn't hire help. But anyways, if I didn't have any guilt of somebody, like, asking me, what do you do all day? I would definitely hire somebody to clean my house at least twice in a month. Like, just deep clean it. My baseboards are horrible because... Okay. Come here, Tub. No
Come here,
babies
Easton.
allowed in the club, guys. So I live literally like in the middle of tumbleweeds and Joshua trees. Like
That
when you
desert.
think of the desert, I literally live like in the middle of the desert. There's not very many houses surrounding me. So my baseboards are pretty much the same color as the dirt. You can't tell that there's even baseboards. Annoying me.
Yeah.
I know.
I think just if you're in the shoes, you don't really know
Yeah.
what's going on unless you've been in
That
the
and then
situation.
I kind of learned that those are my own thoughts, not what other people are thinking. Like, they may have said it in a really rude way, like asking me what I do all day, but maybe they were just really curious. Like, hey, maybe I could be a stay-at-home mom. What would I do all day? But for me, like, I feel like they're putting me down because I'm home all day. And like, well, what do you do all day? Kind of thing. So I think that's like my own perception of what they're thinking when they ask that question. So maybe try to change, like, yeah, that's my own response. Exactly. So that's why when I was writing a blog post for today and I was writing my notes down, I was like, I need to stop thinking about what other people might think about me if I were to hire help for something. Like, one of the things was I would hire a barista because drinks just taste better from somebody that knows how to make them.
Yeah.
But
Better than the good old Keurig.
I know. And people would probably be like, that's so lazy. But I would just hire her to teach me how to do it. I wouldn't need her 24/7 to make me Starbucks whenever I wanted. There's a Starbucks for that. I could just drive down the road. But when I'm at home, I need to know how to make my drinks like that. So I just need a teacher.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, just teach me how to do that. And
I
another
want to
one.
learn the foam art.
Yes.
Except that takes a lot of patience, I've heard. But
Mine
if I
would be
could do
like,
that, that'd
oh,
be-
it's so pretty. Mom, what? And then you'd be like,
oh, it doesn't look like a leaf anymore. It looks like something else.
or, yes, or for like me and Kayla, it wouldn't look like embryos. Like little
Oh,
babies.
I know. We did. We
Oh my
had coffee that the foam art looked like little embryos, and both of us were pregnant.
Yeah,
so it
she
was
just
kinda
didn't
funny.
know she was pregnant yet. It was like, yours looks like a baby. And she was like, no, yours looks like a baby. And what, like a week later, we found out you were pregnant, and we already knew I was pregnant.
It was really strange.
It was just awesome.
It was a cool story, though.
Okay, so what's
And
something
we called that abstract art. Oh, not foam art. Sorry.
Or,
So I think a lot of us would choose
Yeah.
to hire out cleaning, like the deep cleaning.
I'm gonna go
I
check
think
on Lila real quick. She
Go
like
ahead.
walked around the corner.
there are. I can see her from here.
Oh, you can?
But I know like some people really like to clean and it like de-stresses them, and
Like
sometimes
dishes.
that is
Who likes to do
I know.
dishes?
That's why there's a dishwasher. Don't give me a home without a dishwasher.
Yes.
Because that was my chore growing up, was to wash dishes, and I hated it in the summer. I like you're like sweating and like doing dishes at the same
And your
time.
hands just feel
It's
weird
horrible.
afterwards. Sweeping is
but-
my worst.
I don't mind sweeping. But someone, I believe her name was Melissa. If you're on here, let us know. But I read a comment last night on our Instagram page, and she chose deep cleaning, and she's like, I wouldn't have any extra time because I don't do that as it is. But if you think about it, oh, yes, you. Hi, Melissa. So I was thinking about that, and I was like, well, if you don't do it already, you would still have that extra time because it's, well, at least for me, it's like something that I think about. And so I'm like thinking about like deep cleaning. But if I didn't have to even think about that, I could think about other things. And like I said, if someone was like deep cleaning my home, I would probably be inspired to do things like redecorate, or like you walk into your home and you're like, oh, it's just like this whole new clean. I can do this, or I can do this. It's kind of the same way with my craft room. When my craft room is really clean, I walk in and I'm like, oh, I can make this now. Like I just have like this new feeling of inspiration to do. So I feel like if someone could deep clean my home, hello. If someone could deep clean my home, it would be like a weight
Don't
lift
get
off my shoulders.
weird on
Even if
us.
I didn't necessarily have extra time, it would be something like I didn't have to think about it anymore. Someone else could do it, and I wouldn't have to worry about it.
So true. Okay, so this one's gonna be like really, really funny. But when I was vlogging, like I said this morning, trying to get my notes ready, I was like, what would I hire? Like I don't know. Pretty much anything is like simple little things. Like most women are gonna say deep cleaning or cleaning the house in general, any like part of the house. And I really thought about it, and I was like, I need a dog walker. I really need a dog walker.
You have a big yard though.
I know, but my
They run
dog,
around.
He's like a puppy still. He's like a year, and he's a German Shepherd. We had this horrible experience like 2 weeks ago where he knocked down my son. And he just has so much energy when I throw the ball and I run with him. He's not paying attention to the kids, so he like topples over them. And my husband doesn't like animals, and I'm like, he protects us. Like, he barks when somebody's walking by our yard. We can't just get rid of him because then I'm not going to know if somebody's in my yard. So I was like, I just need somebody to walk. Are the prices for apartment rentals high?
I don't know.
Yeah, don't get weird. And then we're going to have to block you. But if I had somebody to walk my dog, then I don't know who you are, but sorry.
I don't know. Hold on. Go ahead.
So I was like, if I had somebody to walk my dog for me, then he could let out all of his energy with them, and then when I'm ready to play with him in the yard, okay, sorry guys. Some people are just getting a little weird. Oh, wait. I accidentally, like...
Block somebody else.
Yeah.
Well, after the broadcast, I'll have
Yeah.
to go through that.
Sorry, didn't mean to block you, but I thought you were being weird. It said, like, I want somebody to make an income for me. And then I was like, what? And then...
You blocked him?
Yes. And I was... Because the person above him was
was
saying
it?
something weird, too.
Who was
I don't
it?
know.
Sorry.
I'm going to unblock you when I'm done. I'm so sorry. Or wait. Oh, no, they're not.
Okay.
On there anymore anyway.
So go ahead. What were you saying?
Because there was another one that said, what's up? And I was like, what? They were just being weird. There was like 5 people that jumped in and they were all being really weird.
Block
Anyways,
party. Block patrol.
I'm like overly like blocking. I just don't want people to
I know, there's some
steal our
really
time
weird
because our time is
weirdos.
really short with you guys with the kids. So anyways, I would hire somebody to walk my dog for me so his energy would be let out, and then when I'm outside with the kids, yeah, my daughter's crying. When I'm outside with the kids, then I wouldn't have to worry about like him knocking them over and stuff. His energy would be gone. And I'm not sure why my kids are crying. See, this is why I was blocking people, because our time is short. And then our kids are crying. I would hire someone. Yes. Well, you know, I don't mind washing the laundry. It's just, I just let it pile up on my couch. And then when I fold it, I sit there and I'm like, this is relaxing because I'm just focused on this one thing. And it's like really nice because I don't get that like moment to sit on the ground and just be like relaxed and not have 100 different other tasks to do. But I really like wait like days and maybe even like a week to fold it. Somebody would hire somebody out to fold the laundry.
Oh.
I like to fold the
Yeah.
laundry once I sit there and I do it, but it takes me days to get there.
If you're a daddy and you're not going to be weird, yes, you can be in here.
you can be in here. Just don't get weird on us.
Play some music. And yes, I love
Yes.
putting music on and just dancing around and singing and getting things done. That like gets me more like upbeat. Okay.
Okay, awesome.
One thing though I was thinking, since I am like a small business owner, one of the things I would totally hire out is like packaging and shipping, because
want
it's
paper?
like, it's really tedious, but I do like
Want
certain
some of
things
that?
when I do the packaging. There are certain ways that I do it, but if I could hire someone out, definitely the shipping
Look, Mommy.
would be nice, and someone that is a little beetle bug. Someone to take the packages to the post office for me.
Yes.
That would be nice.
Or do like the little running around, like after you've already done the grocery store trip and you're like putting everything away and you're like, I forgot orange juice or cheese. Like somebody could just be like, hey, go grab cheese. I do that to my mother-in-law a lot, but
Have you heard of TaskRabbit?
no. What's that?
There's this thing, I've never used it yet. Have a drone pick it up for you. I could have my USPS guy
get a drone.
does pick it up for me, but I have to schedule packages out by 3 a.m. the day before, or that morning.
Sorry.
Sometimes I don't know if I'm shipping out packages till after that. So
Go check it
I
out.
end up going to the post office anyway.
On his way home from work. I
Oh,
actually feel really bad when I like ask him. Well, my husband drives 12 hours a day, so for him to stop at the grocery store, he probably wouldn't come home. He'd just go somewhere. He'd go to my in-laws and be like, I'm not going home. What's she thinking I'm going to stop after a 12-hour day? But my husband doesn't have.
Well,
An
if he
8-hour
wants
day.
food, he will get it.
No.
If it's that bad, no, he won't.
He would go to work without any food. He'd be like, no, I'm good. He literally like does not stop for anything. He'll be like, I'm thirsty, but let's just keep going. I'm like, no, I'm thirsty too. Stop. It's okay. I'll go into the store and I'll get us like a drink or something.
If you're like, if you practice like a baby though, when I went to Oregon and I brought my daughter with me and my baby was crying in the back, and Megan's like, you know what? I should try the screaming and crying and see what I can get.
That would be smart.
So it's not necessarily like a good idea, but it could be a funny one if you just start screaming and crying and then see what you could get.
He'd probably kick me out of the car, like, get out until your attitude changes.
You want some
Yeah,
goldfish?
they're over there on the table. Go ahead, babe.
Anyway, but with the extra time, like we think, like, say if our task to hire out would to be to clean the house, what would we do with that extra time? Like, we could use that extra time to even just play with the kids more, or to get, like, you know, practice their letters with them.
And that was the thing, like, with the guilt, when you feel guilty if somebody asks you, like, well, what do you do all day? You could just tell them, like, you know what, I may have hired help to clean my house, and yeah, I'm at home all day, but think of, like, all this time extra that I had to work with my kids, like, whether you're, like, a homeschooling mom. I'm starting that with my daughter in August, and I'm almost, like, 100% terrified because I don't have time to do everything. Being a full-time mom, it is. And I know, like, any kind of mom, working mom, stay-at-home mom, stepmoms, moms of 7, moms of 1 or 2, like, we all have our different tasks. But it seems like no matter what stage you're in, your plate is full. Like, 100% full. Aw, thank you. And, what else? Oh, I would hire a teacher. Being a full-time parent is very difficult. Yes. I would hire a teacher to teach me how to homeschool my daughter, because I didn't do well with school, and I'm, like, almost terrified to start homeschooling. I need, like, a tutor. A mom homeschooling tutor.
You know,
somebody to tutor me so I could teach my kid.
I've thought about that. Like, I really want to homeschool. That's what I'm going to be doing for a few years. But honestly, like, I've already started doing a little bit of work with him. And it's hard to be the mom and the teacher. Because I feel like there's that boundary. Like, you need respect, obviously, as a mom. And you also need respect as a teacher. But to combine that, say, like, okay, sit down, let's trace your letters. And he's like, no, I want to go play. I was just thinking about homeschool. I don't think the public school systems are the best. No, they're not. I really don't want to play.
I had, my husband's boss was talking to us about homeschool, and he was like, back then, like, when people would talk about homeschool, I would tell them, like, well, your kid's not going to be very social. And he's like, now, you don't even want that. Like, you want your kid home. And then right after he had said that, later on that day, I saw a thing on Instagram, and it said, your child must be so much more socially advanced than mine because they're homeschooled. Said no homeschool child or mom ever.
So
it was
they
something
must
like
be
that.
More socially.
Yeah, they must be more socially advanced
If they're in public school.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then it was like said no homeschool mom ever.
That, and I feel like with like my mom, she has this thing where like homeschool kids are weird. Like that's how. We were brought up, like, if you saw someone that was homeschooled, you could tell.
They're weird
but
and socially...
honestly, like, I feel like also the homeschooler, don't take that to any offense. I'm just saying that's like...
what our parents...
Yeah, from then. But I feel like homeschool has changed so much more now, where, like, there's, like, co-op, where you take turns at each other's houses, so they get to hang out with your friends' kids. You can put them in sports so they're with other kids, like, and you take them out of the home. They're not, like, in a room all day sitting there. And it teaches people to be independent. It does.
Yes, and it's kind of like the whole, like, breastfeeding thing. Back then it wasn't very popular, and it was like, no, you don't do that. Well, now it's becoming more and more popular, and same with, like, homeschool. Back then it was like, oh, why, you're homeschooling your kids? They don't talk to me. Why aren't they talking? But now it's like that whole perception of homeschool has really changed.
Okay.
And a lot more people are preferring that. And
I think because...
like...
Go ahead.
You just see that the perceptions people had were wrong.
Well, and like, society
First
also has been changing. The culture has been changing. So many things are more accepted now that weren't then. And it's just kind of like how life is throughout the years. But Like the school systems have just been going, in my opinion, have been going down the drain. So
Yeah, the internet has, and especially with blogs
yeah,
and more resources.
Yeah.
I can't find the cup.
I'm
You
going
can't
to.
find cup?
Hold,
I have
one
a cup.
second. You have one?
Yeah, I'll get it.
Okay. But I don't know. So my son will be starting transitional kindergarten. So I'm going to be homeschooling him at least until 3rd grade. I was reading the book Bringing Up Boys, and by James Dobson, and he had recommended like keeping boys home longer because most boys tend to take a little more time to mature. So if you keep them home longer instead of throwing them into school, they usually do better. It's not obviously every boy, every child. But that was a recommendation, and I said, that's actually a really good idea. And if I were to put him in school, we'd be putting him in private school.
To play with the ball with
But
you.
for right now, it's homeschool, and, you know, we're going to see how that goes.
And I think it's
Because
one
it
of
might
those
be for even
things, if you
longer.
think of like long term, it's really overwhelming. But if you just take it one day at a time, then I think
One
you'll
school year at a time.
Yeah, you'll definitely like see the results better, like maybe a year or 2 years, or like you said, 3rd grade, and then you'll be like, you know what? He's changed so much. I can do this another 2 more years.
Until he was 3. Was he homeschooled till he was 3, or he was I think you were talking to someone else, but I totally missed that one. But anyway, so yeah, homeschool has definitely changed. But I would totally hire somebody to help me, like you were saying, teach and
Help
give.
me teach, or like to have a tutor come in once a week or something to kind of like take that stress off of me, and then kind of see like how they're growing, where they're at, and then they can tell me where I need to work on more, because when it's just you and them, it gets so frustrating and it gets so overwhelming and you're not seeing the results. But to
Yeah.
have somebody come in, it would benefit you to get a day off, and it would benefit you to see the progress over the time, because we're in our, look at the bunny. He just came into your yard.
I know. We have
Cute.
like 3 bunnies that live in that little. Those
Sorry
little
guys,
sticks right
I
there.
think bunnies are so cute.
They are. But
But
that's also
anyways.
why they do like a homeschool co-op where you
Yeah.
trade with different moms and stuff. But sometimes even that could be overwhelming depending on how many children are in the co-op, because the kids are dropped off with one mom, and if it's one
But
mom
you're not
with
hiring them.
like 6 people. No, but that's a way out of
It is a way out of it. It's a way of hiring them without having to pay them.
and everyone benefits from it, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So,
What
Yeah,
else? What
I
about
don't
you
know.
guys? What would you guys hire? Like, I know, obviously, deep cleaning, somebody maybe to
Yeah.
go into, like, school pickup line or something. I know a lot of moms are like, oh, I'm in pickup line again, and they, like, post a picture on Instagram.
and it's
I don't
not the
know.
most fun thing.
No, because you, like, get there an hour early just so you could get your kid on time. And then,
Oh, I have
Grocery shopping.
Go shopping, yeah. As long as they knew what I liked and meal planning. Oh man, that's a good one. Someone to cook for us. Yes, I really don't like cooking. I know she's really good at it. But I told my husband I have wanted a farm for so long. I would love a huge farm with
you
all
live
of
in
the
the
animals.
wrong place. Just saying.
Let me tell my daydream. No,
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Well, this daydream, like your daydream, but just in my area.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Okay, so I was like, I really want a farm, like a green farm, not a desert farm. So I would
Yeah.
probably have to move far away.
You could move. I just planted grass, and then we're getting bees. We're
Yeah.
getting bees, guys.
She is.
And I want some goats and like a baby sheep
Yeah.
after I saw the sheep. They had a farm at the farmer's market.
Yeah, that was
But-
fun. The kids liked it. But I want like the goats. I want the pigs. I want the horses,
pigs.
the chickens.
want
I
the
want
pigs.
it all. But I want somebody else to take care of it. Like I will go out there and I will play with the animals. I will feed them. Maybe
I will
you
not
know,
clean
once
up
a
the
week.
poop.
But no, I don't want to clean up the poop. And having a farm is like a 24/7 job. Yeah, and the animals are so high
What about
maintenance, and I want
horse?
them to be. I love horses, but they're very high maintenance,
They
and that's like
are.
a 24/7 job.
We had
So
one
I
for
would
like
love
3
the farm.
months, and then we just couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah,
Too much.
It's,
They
it-
ate
it's
a
a lot
lot.
of work. But I'll go out there and ride the horse, you know.
Yeah.
But I would love to like have a farmhouse and just to look out at my beautiful animals, my beautiful land, and not have to worry about taking care of all of that, because that's a lot of work. And I wasn't raised on a farm, so I don't know the best ways to even take care of them. but I love the idea of
Yummy.
it. I do.
I know. We just live
In a
in
vineyard.
tumbleweeds.
Yeah.
I wish we could like. I'm 25.
I'm 26. So we're kind of.
Look at the lizard.
I know that's
Oh
what
my
I was looking
gosh.
at. Should I go
See?
catch it?
You should.
I'll
So the
try
kids
it.
could play with it.
Hold on.
This is like we literally live in just tumbleweeds and Joshua trees. I wish you guys could see this. I wonder if I could turn the camera around. No, she missed it. He saw her coming and he like booked it. But that was really awesome to watch Kayla chase a lizard. You guys just really missed it. But we don't get like cute little
He took
animals
off
like we
so
were saying,
fast.
like pigs. Well, like I mean, you could have a pig out here and those kind of things, but it's a lot of work. So when we see a bunny or a lizard, it's like, hey, it's no work. We'll just catch him, play with him for a minute, and then let him go. Right?
Yeah.
That's our farm without having a farm.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, Kristen.
What about you guys?
Anyway.
Like, what would you guys hire for help? Did you guys come up with any other ideas that we did not? Again.
It's okay. Watch the replay if
Yep.
you want to.
I'm gonna go back on block patrol. I'm just
Fun.
gonna unblock the person that I blocked, and I'm really sorry. Don't hold it personally. The people were getting weird. It was an accident. Layla, can you say hi, everybody? You don't want to.
Smack me on the head.
He smacked you on the head. Okay.
Well, we're gonna have to lay down some discipline.
Mhm.
So, we should probably get going. But it was so nice
Yes.
to scope with you guys.
next
and
week
be
it'll
reunited.
be you.
Me alone. So we're gonna be taking turns. Be careful, bub. No, excuse me. No. Bye. So next week I will be by myself scoping. Then the week after that will be Tara, and then the following week will be both of us again. So I will see you guys next week. And if you guys need to let us know your ideas, topics,
Yes.
everything, go to Instagram at mommy_cafe.
Bye.
have a
Thanks
good
for watching,
Monday.
and thanks for the
Bye,
hearts, guys.